Hello, good evening. Today I'm very happy to welcome Eve Richards, actress, model, stylist. Also, she works in marketing, talking to us from Los Angeles. How are you?
I'm
How are
wonderful.
you, Eve?
I'm
Thank you
wonderful.
very much for joining the live. It's a pleasure talking to you today. First, I want to ask you about your interest into becoming an artist. How did it start?
So it actually started when I was in high school. I always found myself to be a little bit awkward. My parents, my mother was a judge, and my father is an attorney. They wanted me to become an attorney, of course. And I rebelled and said, hey, no, it's not what I wanted to do. And decided to get into performance art in high school. After college, I actually decided to go into the business industry. But I realized about 6 years ago that something was missing. And I decided to go back and start taking some acting classes.
Eve, did you face any challenges into changing career
Of
after
course.
start? Yeah,
Um,
tell me about it.
Acting is not an easy industry. It's very competitive. One
Yes.
of the things that I needed to do was learning how to navigate the industry. Obviously, a lot has changed. And so the first thing that I did was reach out to some of my friends who had been working in the industry for a very long time. And I said, hey, I think I want to get back into the acting. What is your advice? All of them basically said to me, Eve, you know what? You've got to go back and work with an acting coach. So that's what I initially did. I contacted someone that I felt was great and started training with this person. And I've been training ever since.
This is great. And beside acting, I see you've done some modeling, and also do you make some advice as a stylist as well, or you're focusing only on acting as your
No,
future craft?
I do. I actually do dabble in quite a few things because, as an artist, as someone in the creative in space, I think it's critical to, branch out and do things that you're passionate about. I've always had an interest for modeling from the time I was very young, and I actually started doing a little bit of modeling, lifestyle photo shoots when I was 13. It's not what my parents wanted, but I was very, very passionate about fashion and lifestyle. And fashion, in terms of styling, it's something that comes to me very naturally. Where I lived in San Francisco, and when I lived in San Francisco, I volunteered for an organization called Dress for Success. The mission of Dress for Success is to empower women by providing a network of support and tools to help women in life and in work. My job there was to help style women, prepare women for interviews. And I felt really empowered when I had that ability to connect with different women and style women. And from that, I've been able to use that platform and also help my friends. I style some of my friends as well. So I dabble in fashion, I dabble in styling, I dabble in quite a few different things, as you can see.
Tell me, according to you, what kind of skills you have developed throughout the years right now? And uh, I want to ask you as well, throughout these skills, do you have a certain passion for a female role, a female symbol you might like to portray on the screen?
So, with regard to acting specifically, I like telling stories that I'm passionate about. Acting is one of those things that once as someone who's fairly new to the industry, having been in the industry so many years ago and coming back to it, you don't always get the projects that you want to do. However, because I grew up around, my parents being in the law entertainment industry, I have a passion for telling stories about very high-powered attorneys, women who overcome challenges. I have a passion for telling stories about women overcoming adversity and then succeeding in the corporate world. Those are the types of stories that seem to resonate with me. And I feel like those are the types of stories that I'm passionate about and that I could share with my audience.
Yes. And tell me, uh, working in front of the camera and behind the camera, do you have a certain technique to prepare for your roles or for an audition?
Of course, totally. So acting is one of those industries where it's about collaboration. I cannot do this alone. It takes a village to make someone successful. And because I'm in an acting class, I am currently in an acting class. I work with two coaches, wonderful coaches, Rob Zimmerman and Peter. They are with Zia Studio. And I have a community of actors and actresses that I can tap into and reach out to them to help me prepare for specific roles. I can always call my coach, Rob or Peter, for advice when I'm working on specific roles as well. So, acting is one of those things that you need a community to help you succeed because everyone is at a different phase, at a different stage in their acting career, right? So, it's always good to have mentors. It's always good to have people that you could look up to. I have mentors as well that I look up to. And there are online places like We Audition that I use as well for auditions as well. But it's so critical, it's so important to have that community that can help you, support you in your acting journey.
Yes. Tell me, did you face any criticism or rejection or, I mean, difficulties while trying to open the doors for yourself as an actress, model,
Not so much,
stylist? Yeah.
people are always going to criticize because everyone has a specific image of what beauty is. Everyone has a specific idea of what they're looking for. And it's not so much about criticizing, but I think someone has mentioned to me, you may want to lose weight. I grew up in England, and obviously, I was born in London. I went to college in Boston. And so I do have a mixture of different a hodgepodge of accents from different places. I lived in New York City. I lived in Africa. I've lived in quite a few places. And so the rejection is not so much about how I look, but more about, oh, you have an accent. I don't think you're going to be good for this role. So I'm working with a voice coach. I'm working with someone, Jimmy, who's been wonderful, but he's my vocal coach who's been helping me as well. So when I have specific roles that requires an American accent, that's what I work with him on to bring on that American accent.
Yes. When you spoke about weight, I remembered right now great actresses who were not like your typical tiny uh, uh, women figure. I remember Kathy Bates. I remember Queen Latifah.
Yes.
And also in Egypt and the Middle East, from I am, sometimes, you know, uh, some actors became star after they surpassed the 50s or 60s, you know. If you see right now, some actresses gain recognition not at a young age, but
Yes.
in their, when they become in their 50s or 60s,
Mhm.
So
Correct.
I think it's about the character and how you approach it.
Of course.
And yes, I want to pick up about from something you said about empowerment. Myself, when I think about empowerment of women currently around the world, I think about motivation and inspiration as well. I want to ask you, how do you keep yourself motivated, inspired, and creative all the time?
Yeah,
because I know is looking for a new project or preparing a new project. It's a long road until you find yourself on the red carpet,
of
you know.
course.
So tell me about it, about your own,
And
in your own words.
yes, that's a very good question. For me, I have family. I have a very supportive community of my family, my friends, and my acting community. It's so critical to have those people who are close to you. And these are the folks that keep me grounded, keep me centered. It's an industry where you can easily get rejected and you could feel totally isolated because, as you know, it's a numbers game. You know, you keep applying for various roles and you don't get it because you're not right for the role or they have someone specific or you don't know what happens, right? So I think I'm always busy. I'm always doing different things. I'm looking for ideas, things to tap into. And that's the reason why I work as a stylist as well. And I love lifestyle modeling. All of those things help to keep me centered, help to keep me grounded, and they keep me motivated. I exercise on a consistent basis. I love exercise. Without exercise, I think I would be stressed, but exercising has helped to keep me zen. I meditate as well. So I look for things that would help keep me grounded, keep me centered, and most importantly, just having family and friends that I can communicate with, I can relate to. Because in the industry, 1 minute you're hot and the next minute you're not. So it's always good to know that, you know, if this all goes away, I still have people around me who love me for who I am and who are proud of me that I'm doing something, making something, and I'm making them proud. And that's all I can ask for.
You know, Eve, you've been in England, Africa, in three different continents. I mean, the United States, I considered it.
I've been to New Zealand. I've been to Australia. I have family in New Zealand as well. So, yes.
Excellent. Now, I want to tell you that when you mentioned hot or not, I remember reading a column with that name in a film magazine, a long time ago before social media.
Mhm.
And they were, you remember, and I think you have seen the scene online or on entertainment news that sometimes when a film star passes through the red carpet and he's speaking to different journalists holding the microphone, before going inside for the screening of the film, you know,
Yeah,
you notice that his publicist is behind, and
right.
telling him talk to this and not to talk to this or keep this later, And I think the film, and it's not only on the red carpet, it's in real life. I mean, if you lose some of your essence in the industry, people wouldn't talk to you and can avoid you. Maybe you have faced that as well, correct?
Correct. You're so right. Because at the end of the day, Hollywood is about, it's fantasy. We are telling stories. We are telling stories that resonate with our fans, with the audience. I think, but at the end of the day, I love attending red carpet events. I love getting glammed. But once all of that is off, I'm just me, the Eve that my family knows, right? And what people see is a facade because you're there to tell a story as an actress. You're there to portray about someone's life and bring that to life. But we all have different lives away from the camera. We all have different lives away from the red carpet. And 1 minute you can be hot, the next minute you're not. So it's understanding how to have that balance where if I'm not working on a film project, I have other things to do that keep me busy. For me, it's fashion, it's styling. Those are the creativity areas that I tap into to channel my inner creativity when I'm not working in film, or collaborating with my actors in my acting class. That also keeps me grounded. And that's what I always aim to do, is stay grounded, stay focused and positive, and not get jaded in this fantasy, which is what we're trying to sell.
Yes. Tell me, finally, I want to know if you have some advices or tips for young people who would like to venture into acting and modeling like
Yeah.
yourself. What can you tell them? Especially we are on YouTube, and people can discover this interview not now, maybe years later. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. What from different culture and nationalities? What do you like to say to them?
Yes, that's a very good question. And number one, I always tell anyone who wants to get into the entertainment industry, follow your heart, follow your passion. You know what you like. Don't let anyone tell you you cannot do it. Have a goal, have a vision for your career. Surround yourselves with positive people. I surround myself with people who bring out the best in me, because there are areas that I'm not good at and there are areas that I'm good at. But always try to surround yourself with people who try to uplift you, people who make you feel special, people who understand that you have a passion to be in the entertainment industry, but people who are not telling you, no, you cannot do it. The key is to have a plan, have a strategy, identify what you're really good at. If it's acting, then have a plan. Work with a coach, get into an acting school, start auditioning for different films, start with smaller projects. Here in the US, there are a lot of student films that people can get into who are new to the industry. If it's modeling, the key is taking good pictures, working with someone who could capture you, so you have a great portfolio of different pictures of you to show what you're good at, because modeling is so diverse. Some of us do lifestyle. If you're not very tall, I'm only 5'5", then you want to do a lifestyle, different shots outdoors, but different things that captures your personality. So work with someone who could take good pictures of you, put together a portfolio, have an acting resume, and I would say never give up. It's not an easy journey. It's not an easy industry, but because of social media, we've got so many different platforms that we can tap into. So acting, you may not have that blockbuster movie to be on the big screen, but you can do something and you could post it on YouTube. You can post it on Instagram, and that could make you an instant success. So you never know when you can become a household name. But if it doesn't happen, don't give up. Always believe in yourself, have that dream, aspire to become a bigger, actor, because no one ever says you can't. Don't let anyone say you can't do it. Always believe in yourself, believe in your talent, and just keep going forward, keep forging ahead, regardless of all the challenges. Never give up. It's not an easy journey, but it's achievable. That's all I can tell them. It is
Great,
achievable.
great, Eve. I want to thank you very much for this lovely interview, and I wish you all the best in.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciated getting to talk to you, connecting with your audience, and you're all the way in Egypt. Oh my God, what time is it over there?